This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Okay, so one of the things that I've seen a couple of people making videos on that seems that they've sort of missed the point is about sort of people making videos of licks on YouTube. So I jokingly sort of call these videos things that you need to learn. Actually, of course, you don't need to learn them at all, but the idea is that I'm just showing you something that I've decided to work on, something that someone has decided that they asked me how I would play this or to break something down. The idea, I think, of learning licks is to give yourself a short-term project, and you know, one lick doesn't necessarily make you any better at anything, but it does give you a short-term thing to focus on, with the idea that if you do lots of these little tasks over a longer period of time, over time you build competency in these areas. I've got my glasses on my head. That's the idea of learning these licks. So the idea is literally, that's why I show you something on a Monday that I might try to carry on through the week working on it. It's like a little short-term project that could hopefully have a wider use, and you know, you learn the things and I practice the things that I hope one day will come out in my playing. That's, for me, the focus of this lick-based thing. I'm not saying that any of this stuff will make you a better guitarist necessarily in and of itself, but learning a lick at a time is generally, or you know, a concept at a time or something like that. Licks are a really nice way to sort of hone your attention on these. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you want more of this sort of stuff, and leave a comment saying that you find these useful if you want. Patreon is the place to get tabs and backing tracks. Now on with the thing. So the thing that I've been messing around with downstairs is sort of a little bit Tim Miller inspired. If you've not checked out Tim Miller on TrueFire, he's got a really interesting course on creative arpeggio design. I think at the moment there's probably some extra kind of discounts running on TrueFire at the moment because of the Black Friday thing, but if you use the JNC40 promotion code, you can get 40% off of everything as well. And they also have this thing called All Access where you can kind of dip in and out of all sorts of courses that they've got on there, which I find actually really useful. As they're a sponsor of the channel, I get to use kind of the TrueFire resources as I see fit. And the Tim Miller one is definitely one that I think is worth checking out because it's like a master explaining how he arrived at a certain concept. So yeah, the all access membership every year, it's renewable, but I think for the price of maybe a couple of actual lessons, you can get lessons from, I think, some of the best teachers in the world: Alan Hines, Tim Miller, Robin Ford, Andy Timmons. It's I think, quite good value for money. Anyway, right, so the lesson. We're going to sort of go along with the idea of 2-1-2 arpeggios, and this essentially, when Tim Miller explains it, it means that you're going to have 2 on a string, 2 notes on a string, then 1, then 2, and then 1. And you might get something like that. So I'm going to be thinking in B flat for this. So the idea, I'm going to start on the D string, on the 6th fret, then the 8th fret. And the principle, instead of doing that, we're going to jump up a string. And then follow up there. And I think that's got a really nice sound to it, which is why I'm bothering to make a video about it. And you can play it however you like. I'm going for a legato kind of approach, but you could alternate pick. It's kind of tricky. Because you get some of this kind of inside cross picking. The Tim Miller thing involves kind of going pick, hammer, hybrid, pick, hammer, hybrid. But you could equally just attack. Like that. So that's principle 1. This is our kind of opening kind of idea. So 8, 6, 12 on the 12th fret on the G string, 10 on the B string, 11 on the B string, and then 13th fret on the E string. So try and get that a little bit flowy to start with. Then here's what I would prescribe is better than just straightforward practicing licks just like that. So first of all, you could take that around the circle of fifths maybe, and you say, right, where would I play this if I wanted to play it in F? So B flat to F, like that, right? Move it down here. C, G, D, A, etc. But beyond this, I also think it's really good to try and move things up through a scale, and this is what I'm going to try and do with this. So what you need to do is kind of visualize what the next so you could do it in little chunks. So if I was to play, there's our root, there's our second, there's our sixth. After that we would want to play our second, third, seventh, third, fourth, root, and then fourth, fifth, second, fifth, sixth, third, 7, root, fifth. So right. Okay, so that's, I could move that part up without too much trouble. And then what about this part? We've got our 7, root, fifth, root, second, sixth, second, third, 7, You see what's going on there? I'm just moving up one note at a time through the available kind of major scale of B flat major. So together, I've moved that part. I've done it in like just a bite-sized chunk, so now okay, so then so that's the exercise. So I'll put up a tab for that on Patreon as well. But that, to me, is a really good way to sort of practice manipulating these ideas across the fretboard. Now also what I found was that if you start this shape kind of down here on the A string, you get a bit of a different shape. So that would also be worth practicing. And you could also extend it. Do something like this if you start it on the A string as well. And I think that has a really cool sound as well. So that's two little ideas that occurred to me, sort of inspired by Tim Miller, that if we can take this 2-1-2 idea, we find these kind of cool little melodic sounding, I think, can move around, and they do two things. They sound pretty cool and also help to illuminate the fretboard in a different way. Because each time you do this sort of thing, it's testing your fretboard visualization and how well you can see the major scale. Give that a try. I'll catch you in another video soon. Patreon will be the place for the tab and the backing track. Cheers.